Your mindset affects how you communicate big time. Coaches with self-doubt might soften everything for their clients, avoid difficult conversations, sugarcoat their feedback, hesitate to challenge a client's self-limiting belief, or the opposite. You might just cover up your self-doubt and push the responsibility off to the client and say, this person's just not coachable. Or you give them enormous amounts of tough love instead of actually addressing your own self-doubt. It becomes, no, this is the client's fault that they're not sticking to the plan. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Not Another Mindset Show. Today, we're talking about your mindset as a coach. This is something that has come up a lot with my students. And actually, one of the coolest things, not to like brag, but I should brag because the health mindset coaching certification is awesome. One of the coolest things that always comes out of our surveys with students who go through the program is that they're always like shocked that they're going through this program to help their clients with their mindset. But what also ends up happening, like a little positive side effect, is that their own mindset gets an upgrade as well. And then we get into conversations too about how your mindset as a coach really impacts the mindset of your clients. So if you want to support your client's mindset, you better be sure that you're also supporting your own mindset and you're aware of where your mindset could be impacting your coaching. So many coaches focus on gaining more nutrition and exercise knowledge and think they just need to know more and do more and get more skill sets in those areas in order to feel more confident and have less self-doubt and stop fearing failure so much and all of these things. But they don't have any formal training in mindset or behavior change or psychology, yet they also tell clients that their mindset is going to be supported in the coaching relationship. And like, just how, when you have no understanding of mindset, or at least very minimal, or behavior change, how can you support someone's mindset? And also, how can you ever understand how your own mindset is impacting your clients? So we're going to break down hidden mindset blocks that a lot of coaches don't realize they're carrying. And this is coming from my work as a coach for over a decade and very high level and extensive training in mindset and behavior change, and spending the last over 5 years working with coaches on this stuff. And we'll talk about how these blocks directly influence your clients' results, and understanding that your own mindset is not just personal growth, though we love that. It's a professional responsibility. So let's get into it. Blind spots that you can't see. Self-doubt, imposter syndrome, fear of failure, fear of being seen. Many coaches compensate for these things instead of addressing. What I mean by that, how do they compensate? They over-educate, they over-deliver. They are in this like constant planning and learning instead of taking action. They hyper-focus on their clients and their mindset instead of looking inward to see where maybe their own mindset is responsible for what's going on. So the first one, I've got a big 4 for you today. The first of the 4 is self-doubt. Am I even good enough? Should I even be a coach? Am I a good enough coach? And what can happen is, again, that over-explaining, over-educating, over-coaching, over-preparing. You maybe avoid charging what you're worth. You hesitate to speak confidently on your Instagram stories. This is something we're talking about all the time. You struggle to feel confident selling or on sales calls. You backtrack in conversations. If you aren't confident in your coaching, how, my friends, can you expect clients to be confident in you? That's a big one. The next one, and we'll get into more of this too, and like what you're probably like, well, okay, Kasey, what do I do about this? Fear of investing in yourself. You maybe avoid investing in mentorship or education in areas that you feel like you're missing, because if you say, yes, I'm going to invest in this program or in this business mentor or whatever, it feels like you might be thinking to yourself, can I not just figure out this myself? I should be able to just do this on my own. And you don't want to face or have to be aware of what you might be lacking. So you brush it off as not necessary. This is also coming from people who have enrolled in the health mindset coaching certification. I've had conversations with them before they decided to take the leap, and there has been literal these exact words coming out of their mouth. I don't need it. I should be able to figure it out myself. Why are we afraid of getting better? Is what I want to know. Why are we afraid of what it means, or what are we making it mean, I should say, if we invest in mentorship or education in areas where we feel like we're lacking? What are we making it mean? Because to me, that sounds like a growth mindset. If you're like, I really struggle with my clients who self-sabotage, so I'm going to do something about it, versus, I really struggle with my clients who self-sabotage. That just means I'm not a good coach. That means I shouldn't be coaching. I should be able to figure this out myself. Why are we doing that to ourselves? Next one, low coaching confidence. How this can show up in your coaching. Advice giving instead of coaching. You're afraid to ask better questions and go deeper because you don't know what that's going to unravel, and then you don't know what you're going to do with that. So instead you stay very surface level. You rely heavily on tactics or strategies from a nutrition and exercise perspective. You're changing the plan instead of addressing what's actually going on underneath the surface. You avoid difficult client conversations like, I feel like there might be something else going on here. You have that sort of like intuitive coaching hit, but then you don't want to address it because you don't know what's going to come up and you don't know if you're going to be able to handle what comes up. Low coaching confidence. Without confidence in your communication and being able to handle those things, coaches then just default to advice giving or just handing solutions on a silver platter to their clients, which we all know if you just tell your clients what to do and just hand them solutions and then just give them advice, that a lot of times that still doesn't work. Even if the client's like, oh yeah, that sounds great, I'm going to do that. And then a week goes by and did they do it? No, because we didn't uncover what's actually going on underneath the surface. The fourth mindset block is fixed mindset beliefs about success or fear of failure. Examples of what this could sound like: what if I try something and it doesn't work? Other coaches are already doing this. I should just stay in my lane. Is that because you really want to stay in your lane, quote unquote? Or other people are doing it, so you shouldn't, so you should do something else? Or is it because you feel like you're not capable of doing it? Maybe. Okay, so how your mindset as a coach, how does that actually impact client results? The first thing that comes up for me is just how your clients are going to mirror your energy. So if you're showing up, over-explaining, over-coaching, providing solutions, and just like throwing things at them, can feel a little bit chaotic. It can feel like you're not really hearing the client. It can feel like you're not wanting to go deeper and you're just like adding these stuff and piling things on. And for you, it's like, oh, I'm just going to do all of this stuff instead of like trying to uncover other things. For them, it can just feel potentially overwhelming, like you're not actually hearing them or understanding them. If you're scared of failure, you may unintentionally just try to like rescue your clients. Again, this comes back to the, let me just tell you what to do. I'm just going to give you all of these solutions because I'm the expert and you're expecting that from me. But that then prevents autonomy building, which is so important. It prevents collaboration in the coaching relationship. It creates dependency on you as the coach. And then coaches come back and they're like, why are these clients so needy? And why can't they do anything themselves? It's like, it's because of the way that you're coaching. But I'm very sensitive to the fact that that could be coming from a place of you not feeling confident enough in your coaching. Your mindset affects how you communicate big time. Coaches with self-doubt might soften everything for their clients, avoid difficult conversations, sugarcoat their feedback, hesitate to challenge a client's self-limiting belief, or the opposite. You might just cover up your self-doubt and push the responsibility off to the client and say, this person's just not coachable. Or you give them enormous amounts of tough love instead of actually addressing your own self-doubt. It becomes, no, this is the client's fault that they're not sticking to the plan. Coaches with strong mindset skills will ask better questions. They get excited when clients are self-sabotaging, believe it or not. I hear it all of the time now. It's so fun. If you were watching on YouTube, you can see how big my smile is. Because I literally hear from coaches saying like, I was about to like get out of coaching. I was about to stop doing this altogether because I didn't think I had what it takes, or I was just so frustrated with these clients who don't stick to the plan. And I have all this exercise and nutrition knowledge, but I never feel like I actually get to fully use it because my clients aren't checking in or whatever. So if you have strong mindset, behavior change, psychology skills, things that I talk about all of the time, you can actually get excited because you can see what's going on. And instead of being like, I'm not super confident I can handle what might be going underneath the surface there, you go, let's dive in, honey. Let's get into it, because you know there's more to dig into and there's so much good that can come out of that. These coaches also can explore emotions with their clients without fear of it going a certain direction or not knowing what to do with it, can stay grounded during client setbacks instead of it feeling like, oh, this client is struggling again. What does this mean about myself? What does it mean about my coaching abilities? Or again, just instead saying that it's the client's fault. You can stay grounded and go, ooh, we had a setback. What can we learn about this? What do I want to ask? What do I want to get into? How can we take this as an opportunity to get better and see better results? And ultimately too, I was talking about advice giving, kind of coming back to that too. Low coaching confidence does lead to just like constant advice giving and calling that coaching because it feels safer. There's less emotional risk. But good coaching requires curiosity, exploration, autonomy support. And those things do require confidence from you that you have the ability to get into that with your clients. And I have been talking about this a lot recently with my students about addressing the root cause and not just the symptoms. And that's kind of, I'm like beating around the bush a little bit with this specific topic so far in this episode. I have been, because coaches try to give more information to clients and change their nutrition plan, change their exercise plan when they're struggling with consistency, when they can't stick with it. They have low motivation. It's not working for them. So let's just change the plan. But addressing the symptoms, which are inability to stick with the plan, lack of consistency, low motivation, addressing that with just changing the plan is just addressing the symptom. You're not actually addressing the root cause. So it's kind of like a Band-Aid approach. And instead, we should be thinking, why is this client not consistent? Why is this client struggling to stick to the plan? Instead of changing the plan, it should be, what's causing this? What is the root cause? And it's usually behavior change, mindset, situation. More nutrition facts to your clients is not going to support their mindset. More programming skills is not going to improve your communication with your clients. More content hacks on social media is not going to fix your coaching confidence. So, mindset support for your clients, very important. Your own mindset also needs to be supported because that is going to show up in your coaching. If you have more of a growth mindset about what you're capable of as a coach, that is going to directly and positively impact your communication, which then will directly and positively impact client adherence. if you have a growth mindset and a really strong conviction in the work that you do, then selling becomes a lot easier because you have the confidence that comes from that. So, paying attention to your mindset and recognizing where that shows up in your coaching practices, in your sales, in your marketing, it's not optional, my friends.
Okay, really quick, I need to take a mid-episode pause to tell you about something really exciting that's coming up. I'm hosting a free 3-day training series called The Coaching Code, and I really, really want you to be there. Thousands and thousands and thousands of coaches have enrolled in this free training in the past, and this time we're making it better than ever. And I'm not just saying that. We've got brand new mindset and behavior change coaching content for you around some specific hot topics like GLP-1s and AI. Inside the coaching code, I'll be diving into strategies and tips that you need in order to help your clients stop self-sabotaging, stick to the plan, and ultimately stick with you longer. If you enjoy my podcast, you're going to absolutely love the coaching code. We get started on February 26th, so head to the show notes right now to grab the registration link and snag your free seat.
Where I want to get into, I think, next is just how it's like a professional responsibility that I kind of mentioned at the beginning. Your mindset is part of your skill set as a coach. And this is, we're kind of like talking about two things here, right? Like mindset coaching skills, behavior change coaching skills to support your clients. Yes, love that, need that. It's so crucial, but also your own mindset and recognizing how that then impacts everything that you do with your clients. Just like programming, anatomy, nutrition, exercise science, mindset coaching skills are part of being a well-rounded coach. And just like with nutrition coaching, you wouldn't expect to go create a nutrition plan for someone if you couldn't do that for yourself. And mindset's no different. And in general, the profession is shifting. I've talked about this in a variety of episodes. I feel like it keeps coming up, especially with introduction of AI and ChatGPT. Clients are expecting more than macro spreadsheets. The industry is evolving towards more necessity of human communication and interaction and behavior change. And coaches who don't invest in this are going to fall behind. And it's not only about your client's mindset, rather, it's about your mindset as a coach. It's not personal development fluff. It's truly professional responsibility, especially when we're dealing with working with humans. You're in the people business. You're in the human interaction business. You got to make sure that you as a human are also being taken care of. The better you become, the better your clients become. And you wouldn't ask a client to invest in themselves if you're not willing to invest in yourself. Your growth sets the ceiling for your clients' results and therefore sets your own ceiling as well. This is actually something that I talk about frequently because I invest in myself a lot. Like tens and tens of thousands of dollars every single year into investing in myself and growing and learning so then I can then bestow that onto other people. But also, you bet your butt, it increases my confidence as a mentor, as an instructor, as a saleswoman. Yeah. And I wouldn't be asking you to invest in the health mindset coaching certification if I was over here like, yeah, I haven't spent a dime on my own development, growth, education. No. And then the same goes for your clients, like to be able to go to them and say, hey, I invest in myself and I would never expect to ask you to invest in yourself if I wasn't doing the same too. That's kind of like a whole nother conversation. It's just investing in yourself or not, but then expecting other people to invest in you. But also then like, why aren't you investing in yourself? What is that? Is that coming from some sort of fixed mindset belief? I can just do this on my own. Why would I need to do this? Or is it coming from somewhere else? I don't know. Only you know that because I don't know you and you know yourself best. But be cautious of these hidden mindset blocks and how they are keeping you from making more sales, showing up, and doing the best that you can do for your clients. Okay, my friends. I hope this maybe stirred up something for you to tackle and you don't just brush it away, or you're trying to argue with me that that's not how you feel. Justify the reasons why you have or have not done something, or how you're showing up in your coaching, because it can't possibly be your responsibility, right? Okay, I could go on and on, but I'm going to leave it at that. And I really sincerely hope this was helpful and at the very least, just got you thinking. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for being here.